we're going to talk about something called iambic pentameter. And it sounds really fancy, but it's not going to be that fancy once we get going, okay? Before we do anything, I want you to look at your worksheet. You don't know what the word iamb or iambic means yet, but I want you to look inside this word that says pentameter. Do you see the first half has a penta in it? What does penta? I see somebody up back there. 5. What does penta mean in math? 5, okay? So there are going to be 5 parts to iambic pentameter. And you don't need to know what that means quite yet, because you will, but know that there are 5 pieces because it's pentameter. I do want to tell you guys it looks like it's pentameter. We say pentameter. Please turn to your neighbor and tell them what this word is. Pentameter. Okay, now, speaking of ways to say words, how would it sound if I said the following sentence like this? I have rehearsal for the ballet every night. What's wrong with that sentence? What do I need to say? What should I be saying?
Rehearsal.
I have rehearsal for the ballet or ballet every night. Okay? But in that sentence I said I have rehearsal for the ballet every night. Every night. How about that? Every night. What's wrong with that sentence? It's pronounced incorrectly. Try this one. I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. What's wrong with that sentence?
You emphasize the wrong syllable.
I emphasized the wrong syllable. Now, how do you know those words are supposed to sound like that?
Shakespeare.
Because you Shakespeare. We're going to talk about that in a second. Because you always say them that way. But if you just look at a regular word and you don't know where the accent or the emphasis goes on that syllable, I'm going to teach you how to figure that out. Okay? So that's what we have to figure out today, because part of iambic pentameter means we have to know the rhythm or the bounce in it for the sentence. Think about this. If I say, raise your hand if you know the it's a Christmas song, not a song, but a Christmas story called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Raise your hand if you've heard that before. About half of you? Okay. So if you don't, you can still hear the rhythm in it when I say it. Listen. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Can you hear the beat in there? Dun 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 dun. Dun. Okay? And the rhythm for that goes down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Listen again. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house. Can you hear it now? Okay. So we're going to be looking at something similar. We're not going to do that particular pattern, but I want you to know that they exist, okay? So we have to figure out how we make these patterns with words, because they actually already have a sound. That's the reason that you know we don't say emphasis and syllable. They already have their own pattern. You know because we say emphasis and syllable. So let's look here. On your worksheet at number 1, it has a bunch of words, and it has them divided by syllable already. I know you could figure that out, but I've done it for you. Could someone open that back door for me, please? Thank you. So let's look at the first one. Hello. It's divided into 2 syllables. The way that you discover where the emphasis on the syllable is that you call it to dinner like it's way up on the hill. Okay? So pretend the word hello is a person. And we're going to call it to dinner up on the hill, like this. Hello! Turn and do it with me, please. You have to actually turn and do it like you're calling. Go. Hello! Where is the emphasis on these 2? Is it on the he or on the o? Oh. Hello! Okay. I want you to mark that on your sheet. If you can see up here, the part that is emphasized or stressed or accented has a line going up, because that's what we do with our voice. Okay? In the corner, I want you to write emphasis equals, and I'm going to give you two words that we'll use. We'll either call it stressed or accented. Both of those are okay. It doesn't make any difference. So when I talk about the emphasis on the right syllable, that's where the accent or stress is. And it's always written like this. What do you think this first one is? The one that's down. Hello? If this one is stressed, that means this one is, it's low. We call it unstressed or unaccented. And that's why there's a little U there. That'll help you remember, okay? So let's do the second one, poster. We're going to call poster to dinner. Call it up on the hill. Here we go. Poster. We're going to try it again until you guys call with me. Here we go. Poster. Which one do we stress or accent? Poster. Post gets the accent up. The little U for unstressed or unaccented is on the third. Let's call thoughtful to dinner. Up on the hill. Here we go. Thoughtful. Which one is accented? Do it again. Thoughtful. Which one is accented? You guys are sleepy. We gotta wake up. Thoughtful. Let's do this next one. We're gonna say guitar. We're not gonna call it guitar. Okay? Guitar. Call it to dinner. Here we go. Guitar. Which one do we stress or accent? Guitar. So draw the line up. Put a little U in there. So you've been noticing the U's are the low ones. They're unaccented or unstressed. And this one that goes up like your voice is the stressed or accented part. Okay? So let's look over here at longer words. Explanatory. Let's call it to dinner. Here we go. Explanatory. Where's the accent? Plan. Put it up. What do we do for the other ones?
All short.
All short. Now, of the short ones, some of them will be higher than each other. But is there one obvious strong stress? Yes. Okay? Let's call presidential to dinner. Let's try it. Here we go. Presidential. Where is it? In. Let's put it in. The next word, if you don't know, is humanitarian. Let's call it to dinner. Here we go. Humanitarian. Good. Where do we go? Good. Let's try pentameter. Remember, we pronounce it pentameter, not pentameter. Call it to dinner. Pentameter. Go. Pentameter. Where is it? Down. Okay. Now let's hold on to that for just a second. I want to do some of your names too, because we're going to come back to using these names. Colin. Call Colin to dinner. Can we figure it out? Colin. Where's the accent? Colin. Up here. Let's do Edward. Call it to dinner. Here we go. Edward. Where's it go? Edward. Let's do Eric. Eric. Okay. So all the ones we said have started with up, down. Does anybody think that they have a name where they start down first?
Me.
What is it?
Amelia.
Say it again.
Amelia.
Let's try it.
No.
Like that? How do you spell it?
E-M-I.
Ah. E-M-I. L-I-A?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I don't have you in class. Let's call Amelia to dinner. Here we go. Amelia. She's right. Where does it go? Amelia. So we're going to come back to those names in just a second. We did the same thing, like Amelia's name, with Andrea this morning. Andrea. But we're going to come back to that in a second. So Looking at these, we know where our accents are. Let's scoot down for a second. On your paper, I want you to go to number 5. Okay, we're scrolling down to number 5. Okay, this part on number 5, please put a star between the word or around the word I am. It's a funny sounding word. It doesn't stand for anything. It's its own word. So an I am is when you have a word that goes down, up, first. Okay? Down first, then up. Down, then up. It has to be that order. Otherwise, it's something else. Today we are looking at iambs because we are studying iambic pentameter. So let's look at here. An iamb means an unstressed, put your little U up there, and then a stressed, like I just explained. So there are 2 ways that you can remember that an iamb is this order. If you are from the U.S., you can think of it as U.S., as in your country. Otherwise, you can use the word us to remember how an iamb goes. Unstressed, stressed. Please turn and tell your neighbors which method you will use to remember now. Go, Drew. If you're listening, please raise your hand.
I am.
When you're listening, raise your hand. Okay. Colin, which method are you going to use to remember this?
U.S.
U.S. And what does that mean for an iamb?
Unstressed, stressed.
Unstressed, stressed. Anybody using us? Okay. What does that mean? Why will you use us for this?
Because it's more like general.
General for you. And so what does it signify with the U.S.?
Unstressed.
Unstressed, stressed. Okay. So on the iamb, we're looking for things that go down and up. Look back at the words you did before that were 2 syllables. Do you have any that go down, up? In any of those?
Yes.
Guitar.
Hello? Let's try hello one more time just to double check. Call it to dinner. Hello. Okay. Hello. So does it fit? Label it. I am. And what's the other one that you saw?
Guitar.
Guitar. Let's call it just to make sure and double check. Guitar. Does it work? Good job. Label it. I am. Now, the idea of I am is that it has to be 2 syllables because one goes down and one goes up, right? What about these? Are these iambs?
No, because they're more than 2.
Because they're more than 2 syllables. Let's talk about Amelia's name for a second. Am I spelling it right? Okay. If we have Amelia, let's call her dinner one more time. Amelia. Where's the accent? Okay? Amelia. Down, down, down. Within her name, does she have an iamb hiding in there?
Yes.
Where is it?
Emmy.
Right here. So her name is not iambic, but she does have one hiding inside of it, right? Let's look at the name. Andrea. It's the same way. Okay? Andrea. Let's call her to dinner. Here we go. Andrea. Put your accents on there. Sorry. Andrea. Is Andrea's name iambic?
No.
Yes.
Is it iambic?
Yes.
No.
What do you have to have for an iamb?
2 syllables.
2 syllables. So it can't be iambic by itself, but can it have an iamb inside of it?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at it. What if I put something else over here? A word that started up, like poster. Andrea's poster. Have I made another iamb?
Yes. Because it's 2 syllables.
Uh-huh. So you can string them together so that you make a bunch in a row. And that's what we're working on today when we make iambic sentences. And the reason that we're doing this is because when we did our poetry unit, we put it back to back with Shakespeare because you already know that he writes the play in verse, which is a fancy way of saying he writes it in poetry. Have you heard some rhyming in there?
Yes.
Okay. You may or may not have noticed that some of the parts have a really strong rhythm. Dun 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 dun, which is the unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, and continued. We're going to show you some of that later if you haven't already noticed it. Has anybody noticed it yet? Okay. So you're going to see it. As soon as you see it, it's going to be totally obvious when we start reading again. But you haven't been aware of it yet. That's why you probably don't understand it. So we're going to look at these. You are going to scroll. I'm going to scroll, and you're going to go to the back, or is it on the same side for you guys? You guys said share. Okay, so you have number 7. It asks you to do it down here, but you can do it up here if you want, since we've already labeled it. I would like for you to put a box around the hidden iambs inside of each of those. You have 30 seconds. Go. Put a box around the hidden iambs inside each of those. What? Where do the boxes go on here? Where is the iamb hidden inside explanatory? What is it? Through? Explan. Look at presidential. Where is the iamb hidden inside that one? Eden. Where is the iamb hidden inside humanitarian? Itar. And where is the iamb hidden inside pentameter? Good. Okay. So you can have words like Andrea, like Amelia, with hidden iambs in them. And you could string them together to be part of a sentence that is what we call iambic. Okay? So we're moving down to number 8. We're moving down to number 8 because it asks us to look at some parts, some words to put together as separate parts and then make an iambic sentence with them. So if you look up here, it says Alicia's dinner. Let's stop for a second and call Alicia to dinner so we can hear the accent or the stress. Let's go. Alicia. Where's the accent? Lee. So, put it in there. What do we put around it? The U's. Alicia. It says Alicia's because it's attached to something else, but we'll deal with that in a minute. What about the word dinner? Call it to dinner. Dinner. Where's the accent? Dinner. Stress on dinner. Do we have iambs strung together here? Okay, how many do we have? 2 full. We have Ali, Shasdin, Oh, we only have half right here. What can we put over here?
Stinks.
Stinks. Why do you say stinks, Mrs. Haw?
It's just a one-syllable word.
It is a one-syllable word. Here's the thing about one-syllable words. You can't call them to dinner because there's only one syllable. If you do, we always end up stretching it out, like my name, Beth. Beth. Doesn't work. What that means is that one-syllable words can go either way. They can be stressed or unstressed. Either way, as long as you have a pattern established, people will follow that pattern with a one-syllable word. So what if we say stinks and put it in there? Do we already have a pattern established? Because it's a one-syllable word. Stinks. Can it go either way? It can. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look down at number 9. I want you to circle, star, or highlight single-syllable words. And I want you to draw an arrow to what they can do. Find it on your paper. What can single-syllable words do?
They can go either.
Where do you find that, Amelia?
In the bottom.
In the bottom. They can go either stressed or unstressed as long as they follow the pattern you've already made. Okay? So could we also put something on here that says is and then try to continue? Does is work there?
Yes.
Is it one syllable?
Yes.
Okay. So if I put is or something that would continue it, stinks is period, done. We have our iams laid out. If I want it to continue, I would put is or something that makes us want more out of the sentence. So let's look down at number 10. Number 10 says, let's add the word is. We did. Alicia's dinner is the best. What do you notice about is the best? What about those words? Those last 3? They're all one syllable. So if we have a pattern, can they go the way we want them to? Yes. So I want you to put your accents on this. We know it goes Alicia's din. What about the last part for dinner? You, unstressed. What's our pattern following? Now it's iambic, so we're going to finish the rest of that. What I'd like for you to do right now is put boxes around the iams in Alicia's dinner is the best. So what if I said Alicia's dinner is the best, and I wanted to continue the pattern? I would make another sentence that does the same thing. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Alicia's dinner is the best. She likes to eat with all the rest. Can you hear the pattern in there? Can you hear? I know, it's so good, right? Can you hear the rhythm? All right? Now, the interesting part is she likes to eat with all the rest, all single syllables. But why does it work?
The way you say it.
Because it's the way I've said it already. The way I've started, we've already established our pattern. Now, using a bunch of single syllable words is the equivalent of doing like roses are red, violets are blue for poetry. So you want to try to add multiple syllables, doubles especially, triples work also to make good sentences. But until we get there, we can start simple. Alicia's dinner is the best. She likes to eat with all the rest. If I asked you to figure out that pattern, you would go da 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 da. That's what we hear. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So look over at the next one. We've got a number 12. What did we add on for number 12 at the bottom? Of all. So here we had 4, and now we had 5. Say it again. Why do you say this one is quatrameter?
There's only 4.
Because what does the prefix qua mean in Spanish and in English? For, okay? So you have quat something, we know it's for. This is quatrameter. Iambic, because the sentence has iams in it, and quatrameter, because it's for. But we're not looking for iambic quatrameter, are we? We're looking for iambic pentameter, which means we need 5. And that's why on number 12, we added of all. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please number them right now so you can see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in number 12. Okay. So because we know an iamb goes down, up, how many syllables does an iamb have? One, just one iamb. One iamb. How many syllables are in it? 2. Down, up. Okay? So let's look here. I'll do it on the bottom one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. How many syllables are in there? It's always 2 times, however, iambs, right? Because an iamb is 2. 10 syllables. What else do you know that has had 10 syllables that we've been doing? Your sonnets. Okay. The reason we did sonnets right before we went into this is because you know Shakespeare is written in verse, as we've already said. Fancy way of saying poetry. And a lot of the poetry that he does is sonnets, or the sonnets, even if they're not sonnets, are written in iambic pentameter. Do you remember on that worksheet, that sonnet worksheet, sonnet worksheet, when we were explaining it and we said if you want to write an iambic pentameter, you can, and most of you probably went, I don't know what that means. Okay? Raise your hand if you remember seeing it now, at least seeing it on the handout or the overhead.
Optional.
Okay. We didn't do it in my class because I bet none of you knew what it was already. Now you do. Now you know what it means. So let's look at this. How many syllables do we have every time we write iambic pentameter? 10. Shakespeare's sonnets are often written in iambic pentameter. It rhymes. So when I did, Alicia's dinner is the best. She likes to eat with all the rest. That's iambic quatrameter rhyming, right? Now, your sonnets, we did not require you to do iambic pentameter in. But think about how you had to count the syllables, and you had to count the rhyme scheme. Could you imagine having counted down, up in your iambs for all those accents and stresses? That sounds hard. That's part of why Shakespeare is so well known. Not only does he have characters that people like and stories that people like, but he writes entire plays in the form of poems, many poems, and he has a very calculated down, up, down, up, down, up iambic rhythm to a lot of what he writes. So even if you think, I hate Shakespeare, can you recognize this is hard work to do? That's part of why he's so appreciated, okay? So let's continue below this. Let's look at number 13. Yesterday, when you were reading Act 1, Scene 1, we had Hermia telling her friend Helena of the plans to run away. She says, Lysander and I are going to run away. I mean, I used to really love it here in Athens. It was a paradise to me. But now that I can't marry the one I love, I hate it here. So this is that part from yesterday. And it says, Lysander and myself will fly this place. Before the time I did Lysander see, seemed Athens as a paradise to me. Can you hear the rhythm in there? Can you hear the rhyme? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to check to see if this is written in iambic pentameter. First, let's check syllables. We know it has to have how many? 10. Let's count it. Lysander and myself will fly this place. Does it pass the first test of syllables? It does. Let's see if the rhythm or the pattern of down up for iambs works. Let's look at our 2-syllable or more words first, because remember our 1 syllables can go either way. So let's call Lysander to dinner. Get ready? Here we go. Lysander. Where is the accent? Lysander. Let's put it in. Let's look at myself. Call myself to dinner. Myself. Exactly. Where does it go? Where does it go? Oh, let's try it again. I heard some of you say it, then we doubted it. Try it again. Myself. Where's it go? You're right. Okay. So look here. We've got our 2-syllable or more words done. Do we have a pattern emerging? We have a single-syllable word here in the middle. What would it be?
Stress.
Because it follows our pattern, right? So, and the rest of these will fly this place. They're all single. Can we make them follow our pattern now that we have it? Fill it in on your worksheet right now. So we have 10 syllables. We have an iambic chunk following another iambic chunk following up to 5. Is this iambic pentameter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please put brackets underneath each iamb so you can see it. The next one, before the time I did Lysander see. Does it have enough syllables?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with our 2-syllable words or more first. Let's call before to dinner. Here we go. Before. Where is it? Before. Fill it in. Then we have Lysander. We know from above, but let's just double check. Lysander. Put your accents on. Lysander. Now, let's see if it works because we have the time I did all single syllables. Let's work backwards. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Is it working? What do we do with C?
Stress.
Yeah, and it's 1 syllable, so it doesn't matter. So what I want you to do on that one too is bracket your iambs. Is that second sentence iambic pentameter?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the last one. Let's count our syllables first. Seemed Athens as a paradise to me. Does it fit the pattern of 10?
Yes.
Fit the first rule of 10? Yes. Let's do our 2-syllable or more words first. Athens and paradise. Let's call it the dinner. Here we go. Athens. Athens. Where's it go? And the A, yes. Athens. Let's call paradise to dinner. Paradise. Where do we accent it? Paradise. Is it going to be iambic? Because why?
Because there's 2 unstressed.
2 unstressed in a row. Now, this technically, even if we fill in the ones that are single syllables, it's not going to follow the pattern we have, right? Is this real iambic?
No.
No. However, if you're sneaky and clever as a writer, if you've already established a pattern,
You can break it, but there's no end.
you can break it, but yes, exactly. You can break it, and sometimes it works. In fact, sometimes you do it so well, people don't even notice, but the word is going to sound a little funny when you listen to it because you're going to stress it or accent it in a part that we don't naturally do it. The same way I said emphasis in the beginning and syllable. So listen to it. Before the time I did Lysander see, seemed Athens as a paradise to me. We do go up at the end there, okay? But does it work? Yeah, okay? It's not perfect. It's not quite right. In fact, if you were studying all these pieces, somebody who was very technical would say, not iambic. But does it flow if you've already got a pattern? Yes. I don't want you guys to get in the habit of doing that. I don't want you to practice that way. I want you to recognize that we don't always hear it if they break the pattern because we've got such a rhythm going, which is why people like to write in rhythm. It's why they like to sing in rhythm, okay? Because we like to hear that and we like to continue it. But it's not natural sounding. In fact, I'm going to show you guys a song that does the same thing, that breaks the pattern and says a word at the wrong emphasis, okay? So, you might know this song already. You guys know Taylor Swift? Yeah? You belong with me? Okay, here we go. Let's go back. Did anybody hear it? Did anybody hear it on here? What does she say? Baby. Baby. Do we say that? What do we say? Baby. She also says it somewhere later with the word maybe. Maybe. Do we say it that way? We say maybe. So, you might have never noticed that before. You'll hear it now. Because she says it wrong, but it's going with the pattern she's already established. It's a sneaky way to get in there and do it. And I don't want you to practice it, but I do want you to know that it exists. Okay? And it's the same thing that just happened with Shakespeare. He says it, he's established a pattern, he thought, they'll skip over it, it'll be fine. But it's not natural. Okay?